Hi guys, I just wanted to do a little introduction to this video. So, first and foremost, I want to thank all of you who watched my montage of Riley in memory of him. It feels so much better now that I finally finished it because it was really weighing on me that it took so long to get it done. But it was such a rough first year without him. So many things reminded me of him, and it became very overwhelming going through all the videos on my YouTube channel year by year. And so I got up to the end of, I think it was the end of 2015 or maybe even 2016 is what I got up to on my YouTube channel. And I was literally skimming every single video on my channel for anything of Riley. Because while I had a lot on my hard drive, there were certain videos I was trying to find that I didn't save to my hard drive. So, it was a long process. And so the main video I was trying to find was video of his super long meows. And I did finally find the one that I included in the montage, as well as my other video that came after that, which was me sharing my memories of Riley. And I'm going to get into that video in a minute as well. But there might be video of an even longer meow somewhere on my channel, but I just needed to get it done. And so once I found that video, even though it wasn't his longest meow, I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop there, and I'm going to use whatever footage I have from either it was the end of 2015 or end of 2016 onward that was on my hard drive. Because it did have a lot of good video that I wanted in the slideshow or whatever you call it. And so I just decided to go ahead and use whatever I had so that I could get it done. And of course, I had already, the video was already over a half hour long just from the video that I had in it. And I also wanted to have photos at the end as well. And I was like, well, I'm really gonna have to trim this down. So I really had to pick my absolute favorite video clips and put those, and then that trimmed it down enough that I could then put the pictures that I wanted in at the end as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't watched it already, please watch the In Memory of Riley video. It was 2 videos ago. And then also, if you have time and would like, please watch the video before this one of me sharing my memories of Riley. I basically, getting into that, I originally filmed it with me just talking off the top of my head. I had a couple of notes, but I just was elaborating on those notes. And it ended up being a rambling mess. Nothing was cohesive. It really was just me rambling. And the video was way too long because I had planned to also put some video clips and photos that went with some of those memories that didn't. Some of them made it into the memorial video and some of them didn't. And so I wanted them in this. So I ended up re-recording the video, and before I did it, I wrote out exactly what I wanted to say. Basically, I wrote out a eulogy that I was going to read about Riley on video. So that's what happened with that. And it ended up being so much better that way because I could group certain memories together, so it was not all over the place and scattered, and I was much more happy with it, and I think having something to read off of kept my emotions from getting out of control, because that was the other thing. Like when I was just talking off the top of my head, I started getting all like upset and crying because like I was talking about how I, you know, miss him interrupting my videos, and I was getting all emotional and everything. It was just a mess. So re-recording it with everything that I wanted to say written down in a cohesive matter was so much better for me to do it that way. And I feel so much better about how that video, Remembering Riley, came out, and how I was able to fit the clips in and not make it like super, super long. So I hope you enjoyed that too. And the rest of this video is footage from my first take of sharing memories of Riley. And it was basically once I was finished sharing memories, I sort of chatted about how it's been, you know, without Riley, and how it's felt for the 1 year and stuff like that. So this is just footage that didn't end up in the Remembering Riley video, because like I said, I refilmed it with like something I wrote, and I just wanted it to be just the eulogy essentially. So but I wanted to share this portion of my first take of the video, because it shares it goes beyond the memories, and it shares like how I've been dealing, how Alex and I have been coping. And also it shares up close the Shadowbox that I made for him. So stay tuned for that. It's towards the end of this video that you'll see his Shadowbox. I could not stop touching his fur. Staff at the vets could not stop petting him. Like, his fur was like silk. Especially the fur right behind his ears. I used to love to play with it. It was like the softest fur ever. And I really miss the feeling of his fur. Anyways, yeah, that was just one thing that I will always remember about him, is how silky and soft his fur was, and his belly was just like so full of floof, and he loved belly rubs, and I just loved getting my fingers in there and just feeling his fur, and it was such a comforting feeling when I wasn't feeling well to just like pet him. Riley became quite popular on my channel. So many of you guys loved him because Riley, whether the video was about him or not, found a way to be in just about almost every one of my videos. Maybe not every video, but it was close. I mean, even if I was just doing a changing video with one of my dolls, he would find a way to insert himself. And it was the funniest thing, because he'd be sleeping all morning, and then as soon as I would pull out the camera and start filming, he all of a sudden would wake up and come prancing into my video with his big loud meows and interrupting my videos. And sometimes I would get annoyed, but now I miss that in my videos. So I would give anything to have him interrupt my videos again. But there's so many times that he interrupted my videos that I came across as making the montage, that I'm going to make another montage of just strictly of him interrupting my videos. And I don't even know if I can put all of them in the montage, because there's that many. But I'm gonna try to put like my favorite ones in a montage for you guys, because for my YouTube viewers out there that loved Riley, that's what you mainly know, is for him like interrupting my videos. So I want to do that for you guys as well as for me. But he was hilarious. He made us laugh all the time. He just was a ray of sunshine every day. Such a special cat. Really, really special cat. I loved my other cats, don't get me wrong. Sneaker and Boots, I loved them to death. They had their own personalities and quirks that were funny. Sneaker was more of a goofy cat, a little bit of a ditzy cat. Boots was a little bit of a prissy cat, and she could sometimes get quite wicked. She would be the sweetest, suckiest cat one minute, and then the next minute she'd be like swatting, biting, hissing. But Riley was just a really gentle soul, and he was friendly with everyone. He was affectionate with my friends. He would come and sit on Paula's lap and let her pet him, or he'd sit beside, like he'd sit in between Marilyn and Paula when they were here visiting. So he just was like a very sweet cat and a very intuitive cat, and I felt like he was just a very smart cat. Like I said, when you would talk to him, he would listen and respond like he knew what you were talking about. I just can't believe it's been a year and it doesn't feel like a year. We still have our moments. We still have our moments where I've caught myself coming home and about to open our door, and I think, oh, I wonder what Riley's up to, and then I realize, and yeah, I still have those moments periodically where I still think like I'm gonna walk in and he'll be here, and I don't know. We've had our moments where we still cry, and we just miss him so much. And for the 1 year anniversary, it was hard. It was hard to not think about those last days with him. Like I felt like I was reliving them, but I really tried not to think too much about those last days with him because they were really not good. And I prefer to remember him when he was happy and healthy and vibrant. And so finishing the memorial helped with that, just to see him in his good days and when he was, energetic and his eyes were bright and they weren't, before he lost his vision and all that stuff. So we've just tried to focus on that. But anyways, we watched the memorial. Alex and we watched it together for the very first time. Like, as I was editing it, I hadn't watched the video in full from like beginning to end. I basically had watched it in snippets as I edited it. So we both watched it together when I premiered it on YouTube. And I want to thank those of you who were able to join us and put like something in the live chat. But I wasn't able to take part in the live chat like I was originally hoping because I hadn't watched it in its entirety either. And so Alex and I were just sort of like here on the couch, like holding each other while we watched it, and we were like bawling. But anyways, it was really nice to see the video in its entirety and how it came out, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well. I remember shortly after Riley passed away, when I was thinking about making the video, the first song that popped into my head was The Scientist by Coldplay, because it talks about like take me back to the start, and that was exactly how I felt. I was like, I just want to go back to the beginning and do it all over again because I just wanted it back. So I knew I wanted to use that song right off the bat. And I figured the best way to incorporate it was to start it off with a flashback of pictures. And so I don't know if you guys caught on to that. I started with photos from like after his passing. You see like the urn and everything, and I literally went in chronological order backwards all the way to the very first picture we had of him, which was the picture from the website of the SPCA. And it was like this picture of him in his cage at the SPCA, and he looked so scared. And then I literally put, started with video of his first day coming home, and all the video that you see in the montage is in chronological order. And that's why it took so long, because like I'm very analytic like that. Like when I make things like that about like in memorial for someone, I like to go in order, like chronological order. And so that's why it took me so long, because like I was literally going through video year by year, month by month. I had to organize everything into folders for like, I went by month and by year. So it was a big project. And so yeah, I just wanted everything in order. So the video that you watch, it goes all the way to like the very, well, not the very last video I have of him, I guess, because I think the very last video that I have of him is, unfortunately, it's video of him like pacing in a circle, because I had taken it thinking I wanted to show it to the vet, but then that never happened. So I didn't obviously want to put that in, because it's like I don't even know why I still have it. I should probably just delete it, because I don't like looking at it. But prior to that, I think like probably the last video I have is like, I think he interrupted one of my haul videos, but I did not, I'll include that in like the other thing. But and then again, when I ended off with photographs, I again did the photographs like in chronological order from like 2008 to 2021. So that's kind of how I worked through that process. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video if you made it all the way through. And please, if I missed anything and there's some things that you saw in videos on my channel with Riley that you recall as being like one of your favorite Riley moments on my channel, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to read what you guys loved about Riley and some of your favorite memories from his videos, because they may be different from some of mine. And this is the shadow box I made for him, and the customized urn, and then this picture we had printed out that we had beside his urn. I'll quickly do a close-up of what's in the shadow box before we go. So, as you can see, I got a beautiful picture of Riley. I have one of his, I put some of his favorite toys in here. And one of them was, because I had forgotten actually. I thought he didn't play with this very much, but I came across video when I was doing his memorial tribute, that when he first got this toy, which was sent by a viewer, he would carry it in his mouth and stuff. So I decided to include it, especially since it is a monkey, and we know that monkeys tie in as well with my cousin. I'm trying to hold this, it's very heavy. And then of course his feather toy. This was a toy that we got him on his first Christmas, and it was on a wand, you know, one of those wands for cats, and you just kind of like move it around like a bird and they chase it, and he used to love chasing that. He would really get into that. This is the catnip toy, the very last catnip toy that I made him in Christmas of 2021. And I had made ones prior for him, but this was the final one I made him. And even during his last week when he wasn't feeling great, this particular catnip toy seemed to help calm him. He would sort of seek it out and rub on it. And it's also one of the last videos, well, it is the very last video I have of him playing. He hadn't played in quite a while, but shortly after he got this on his final Christmas, I caught him batting it around, and I got video of that in the montage as well. He also loved playing with elastic bands. And yes, I know they say you should not give cats elastic bands to play with because they could eat them and it's not good for them, but he would never eat. He never ate it. He just literally liked to bat it around with his paws. Sometimes he'd carry it in his mouth, but we would always supervise, and he never ate it. I did put a lock of his fur. I laminated it. And the rest of the fur clippings that the crematorium gave us is in a little bag in his urn, so that I actually have some fur that I can feel if I want to. And then this was his absolute favorite toy mouse. One of the first toys we ever got him, and then he lost it, and then we bought him another one for Christmas one year, and he loved it, and he would carry it in his mouth and stuff. So we put that in there. And then he also loved these plastic springs. He used to bat those around, and quite often he would lose them under the bookshelf or under the couch. But this one in particular, we dug out a few times, and he loved this one in particular. Then another picture, some stickers, his clay paw print. I put some butterfly stickers. I don't know how well they're going to see it. And then I've got Riley, July 1st, 2005 to May 2nd, 2021. His previous owners, their paperwork said he was born in July 2005, but it didn't have a date, so we just made it Canada Day. And then the poem says, I put a poem up here, and it says, there's a special place our dear pets go when their time on earth is through. The rainbow bridge not far away makes all our pets brand new. Their health restored, they wait for us just this side of heaven. Then when it's time, we'll reunite and cross the bridge together. And I put some little rainbow stickers. And of course, this is the blanket I bought him on his last Christmas with us, and he used to like being wrapped in it. And we had him wrapped in this when we handed him off to Pets at Peace for them to cremate him. And we also held him in this for an hour after he passed, so they gave it back to us. And I literally, this is the one item that I just can't bring myself to put away. Like, we've put away his sleeping bag, we gave away his bed to a shelter, an animal shelter, along with some extra toys. We put away pretty much everything else except this. This just sits on the back of our couch because sometimes I just like to hold it. But anyways, guys, I think that wraps up this video. I hope there's nothing I forgot to mention. I feel like there's some video clips that I wanted to include in this that I may have forgot to talk about what they are, but hopefully they'll be self-explanatory if I decide to insert them. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.